Welcome to Oddball.
Oh, hold on. Why would it take so long? Gosh. Hi, guys. Remember me? Oh, Izzy, I don't think we've met. I did this show a long time ago. I mean, well, long time in your terms. You know, for me, I'm Father Time, so time doesn't really matter. Welcome to Oddball. Amin will be taking some of the show off. And I just wanted to step in. I gave him a call last minute. I said, Amin, you know how much I love to say I told you so. Well, I told you so. See, Izzy, sometimes people, transactions happen and people have arguments about what these transactions are going to mean, right? And they say, only time will tell who was right on this. Guess what? Father Time here, and I'm here to tell you, Amin was right on this. Lakers get eliminated by the Timberwolves, despite the Wolves having the worst three-point shooting performance of all time. But it didn't matter because they were dominated by Rudy Gobert. 27 points, 24 rebounds, 9 on the offensive glass, 80% from the field. Take a look at the illustrious names on that list of other guys who have done that alongside of Rudy Gobert. And
I got a few questions.
Yes.
Well, first of all, should I call you Father? Should I call you Time? What can I call you?
Father Time. I kind of like the whole, it's a little, like it's a Janice Dickinson thing. You always just call it Janice Dickinson. It's Father Time, always. Full name.
Dickinson, I've always thought is a very unfortunate last name. Also, why, if Amin was right, wouldn't Amin just be here to brag about being right?
Well, see, when Amin was right, he said, only time will tell. Well, I'm Father Time, and I'm here to tell. Yeah, man, no bigs, no bench. First time coach in the playoffs, you're going to get that ass beat. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why that was such a hard thing for people to accept back in February, but, like Amin said, only time will tell. I wasn't available back in February. I'm available now. I'm here to tell you. Yeah, he was right.
Well, we threw back the clock, too, with Rudy Gobert there, I guess, because I don't think anybody thought Rudy was ever really this good. But not to brag again about how right Amin was, but not only did the Lakers not have enough bigs to, be a Luka ideal type of team, but the one big that they had, they didn't even play in Jackson Hayes. And so it felt like this was everything that we feared, or you warned us about with the Lakers. Sorry, Father Time, that Amin warned us about. It was the lack of depth. It was, in the end, a lack of, I guess, defense in the defensive rebounding sense, right? Because that's the final part of a defensive possession. It was a head coach who maybe is in over his head, a little inexperienced, only trusted 5 guys for an entire half. And, even had a reporter ask him if he trusted his assistant coaches or talked to them when it came to substitutions, and then stormed out of a pre-game press conference, which let's just show you that.
Is there an assistant or someone maybe that you'll lean on tonight, maybe to try to get, some other guys involved if that opportunity presents itself?
Are you saying that because I'm inexperienced and that was an inexperienced decision that I made? Do you think I don't talk to my assistants about substitutions every single time out?
No, I just think there's a lot of coaches lean on their assistants in those situations.
As do I, every single time. That's a weird assumption.
Thank you, Coach.
2 things, Father. Does he not look like Joe Goldberg from the show You, and sound like Joe Goldberg from the show You? That's the character's name. I'm pretty sure Angry JJ could be like a secret serial killer.
Well, I'm not going to co-sign that. If you're waiting for Father Time to tell you, or the time will tell that's going to happen, Father Time's not going to say that one. But what Father Time will say is, months ago, Amin Elhassan said time will tell if JJ's assistants are the right assistants, meaning the playoffs are often about adjustments. Things are happening and you must adjust to the realities of the situation unfolding before you. JJ Redick, I agree. I believe what he said. He leans on his assistants quite a bit. He talks to them all the time. The issue I had and Amin had months ago is that JJ's 2 lead assistants are Scotty Brooks and Nate McMillan, 2 coaches who are renowned for their lack of let's say adjustment making. I can't say it more eloquently than that. Their lack of adjustment making. They've had some serious faux pas in the past in playoff series. I believe Amin told the story about being part of the Phoenix Suns, playing against the Portland Trailblazers, and the checkmate move was to put Steve Nash on Nick Batum because Nate McMillan would never trust Nick Batum to take advantage of a mismatch. And as a result, Grant Hill was able to guard Andre Miller, and ipso facto, the series was over. Scotty Brooks, you remember this, Izzy? You were in Miami.
Mm-hmm. Kendrick Perkins.
Refusing to make the obvious chess move of moving Ibaka to the 5 and matching up against Bosh at the 5. Rather, he let Kendrick Perkins out there. So I do believe JJ Redick is consulting his generals, and his generals were telling him, you got it. We're doing the right thing. Keep going. Don't listen to all these haters out there saying that we have to switch things up. We almost won that game. Why would we stop? Why would we ever consider doing it any different way? And that's what ultimately bit them in the ass.
Yeah. And, you talk about it was pretty obvious to everybody. The T-Wolves were going to trust Rudy Gobert. And to me, it had to be that final dagger for Luka. Like, not only am I getting ousted in the first round, not only am I holding my back, looking exhausted, pretty much looking exactly like Nico Harrison said I would look at the end of every playoff series that I play, but the guy doing it to me is Rudy Gobert, the guy that I can't stand and the guy that I've been talking crap about the entire time.
Izzy, you know how many times I've heard these words? Only time will tell if Shaquille O'Neal will ever say anything nice about Rudy Gobert. And I said, don't put me in that. I'm never getting involved in that one. Well, guess what? Shaquille O'Neal did. I didn't even tell you. I'm telling you now, after the fact. How often do you get that? Father Time, late to the proceedings, when Shaquille O'Neal praised Rudy Gobert? Do you understand the depths you have to go to as an opponent for Rudy Gobert to not only hold his own, but be a difference maker in an elimination game, be handed flowers by renowned hater Shaquille O'Neal?
You had to check if it was fake, because it's one thing for him to make peace with Dwight Howard, but to give Rudy Gobert a compliment seems like AI.
Yeah. No, I mean, but the compliment was he was able to play in a game that benefited his skills and his strengths. The Timberwolves' awful shooting game. Everyone made a big deal about it, but guess what happens when you miss a lot of shots, Israel?
A lot of rebounds.
You get a lot of opportunities for offensive rebounds. Minnesota rebounded almost 4 out of 10 of their misses. So meaning, yes, their shooting percentage might be awful, but on their points scored per trip down the court, they went down there. It doesn't matter if it took them 6 or 7 tries. If they walk away from that trip down the court with a made basket, who cares what the efficiency is or the field goal percentage is? All that matters is that the Lakers were not able to recover the ball before they were able to score once again. And in the case of Rudy Gobert, 24% on offensive rebound rate. That means 1 out of every 4 missed Minnesota shots was rebounded by Rudy Gobert, not by his teammates, not by the opponents.
Can you help me out with a stat? It's a top 10 list, right? It's a top 10 players, and this is with the most rim attempts defended per game through the playoffs so far.
Yes.
Tell me what this means.
Well, I'll tell you what this means. Typically, the ones defending at the rim are your larger players, right? Your perimeter defenders are funneling towards the bigs who are then to deter at the rim. So many of these names you see: Jokic, Siakam, Zubac, Draymond Green. These are the players who would experience a lot of field goal attempts at the rim to defend. For the Lakers, they've got 3 of the top 10, including the top 2, Hachimura and Luka Doncic. Those decidedly not especially large players. Not Draymond Green, Paolo Banchero type players either. They are more face-up offensive guard on the perimeter kind of guys. But when you don't play any bigs, Izzy, This is what you get. And instead of having someone who is versed at defending at the rim, you get these guys.
I'm trying to figure out what your accent is, but let's look at this
Timey.
quote
It's
from
all
LeBron.
timey.
It's a timey accent. There's this quote from LeBron afterward, but basically it's about roster construction because they're talking to him about what the team might need. And he no commented it. He said, my guy, AD, Anthony Davis, of course, said what he needed, and he was gone the following week. I don't know, Father Time, if this is something that is clear to you, but that sounds like a guy who is basically saying, hey, this isn't my team anymore. Like everything that we're doing is to build around Luka. If you were to build around Luka, a guy like LeBron would not be your first choice because he's another essentially point forward type of player. So this is him saying, I don't want to say anything. This isn't really my team. Anthony Davis, that part was, not really serious. That's a little bit more of a joke there. But yeah, this is him sort of coming to terms with that. And I don't think he loves that.
Yes, I would say that only time will tell if the Lakers will continue their rebuild around Luka Doncic rather than LeBron James. Oh, wait a second. I'm Father Time. The Lakers will continue their rebuild around Luka Doncic, not LeBron James. That's merely logical. We saw him give up the ball. We saw Luka be the main initiator. We see that Luka's 25 and LeBron is, well, he's almost my age at this point. He's not going to be built around him anymore. Why would it be? Why would it be? His next chapter of his life is to help Luka Doncic reach the highest plane of existence known to a basketball player. Champion.
Well, we're not at championship yet, so we'll see who actually gets it this time. But let's move on because it's time for a segment called Headlines. I think you know this one. Amin and I take you through some of the biggest headlines in the NBA. Headlines is presented by Remy Martin, 1738 Accord Royal, exceptionally smooth cognac for all your game day festivities. Please drink responsibly. Do you want me to kick us off, Father Time? Does Amin have you set up with your headlines? Are you good?
Yes, I believe we have some things, but I'd like you to give it a go first.
All right,
a whirl, if you will.
Thank you. I will. After their loss to the Wolves, it was reported that more people bet on the Lakers to win the championship than any other NBA team. If you put that bet in, I've got a hotline for you. It's not Gamblers Anonymous. It's just Amin's phone number, so you can send him the money directly next time. He told you this was going to happen. How do we make these bets? It seems ridiculous.
Well, once again, I would say that I said, Father Time said it, but I reiterated what Amin was positing back then, but that is a terrific headline. Headline, Tyrese Halliburton's father apologizes after post-game confrontation with Giannis, saying, quote, I was worried that my child would prank call him later and I'd be fined $100,000, so I tried to beat it at the pass. That's an NFL joke. I said only time will tell. They said only time will tell if John Olbrook, the assistant coach of the Atlanta Falcons, will receive repercussions. And I said, I said that immediately when he found out that the kid was his kid. Like, what are we doing here?
It sounded a little bit like Amin. Headline, after much warning from loudmouth NBA critics, the Most Improved Player award was not given to former number 1 overall pick Cade Cunningham. Instead, Atlanta's Dyson Daniels won the award. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'd rather have the controversy. No disrespect to Dyson Daniels, but the most interesting thing about you can't be your nickname. And the Great Barrier Thief. You have to be a geography nerd to even understand it, Father.
It's a great nickname. And you know what? Only time will tell if children will pay attention more in social studies. Wait a second. I'm Father Time. Yeah, they don't pay attention. Maybe you're right. Maybe you might be onto something. My last headline. JJ Redick defends his decision to play his starters maximum minutes. And somewhere, Tom Thibodeau says, what? And I said, only time will tell. Oh, wait, that's me. Yeah, that's too many minutes, JJ. What are you doing? You got to make a sub. You got to trust somebody out there. What are you doing?
All right, is that Father Time or the Minutes Police? That's a different person.
Welcome back to Oddball. Amin, Elhassan, Izzy, Gutierrez, and Izzy. So I talked to Tony about this the other day, but I feel like you missed out, so I want to do it again. I did a thing for Pablo Torre Finds Out about Giannis Antetokounmpo and his love for chicken, and specifically how NBA arenas that have chicken giveaways when opponents miss free throws, they really like it when Giannis comes to town.
Okay.
And so I wanted to play a couple of clips here and get your reaction. Let's start with, let me establish how much Giannis loves chicken. But you might be asking yourself, how much does Giannis Antetokounmpo love fast food chicken? And the only answer I can come up with is, as much as any human being has ever loved anything in the history of mankind.
Can I have, please, a 50-piece Mac Minis? 50, exactly. Not 51, not 49. Chicken Minis, yes. 50. Are we getting free Chick-fil-A for life now? I want free Chick-fil-A for life. There's no way. That's why I signed in Milwaukee. So I can get free Chick-fil-A for life.
So there's all of these documented instances of Giannis professing his love for chicken. Like, there's a time he showed up to a press conference with a bucket of chicken wings. There's a time where he tweeted about Roscoe's and how much he loves Roscoe's and wishes they would open one in Milwaukee. Oh, right. There's the trip to China where he goes and he professes love for chicken feet.
You tried the chicken feet? I love chicken feet. You love chicken feet? I love chicken feet. Okay.
I now am remembering how Giannis, won All-Star MVP and decided to celebrate in the way that you are alluding to.
So what's it feel like to finally win this thing?
Winner, chicken dinner.
And yet, none of this has to do with the promo that we're talking about, Amin.
Okay, so here's a video of him at a Milwaukee Bucks game where there's a chicken giveaway while the opposing team is in a chicken scenario.
Speaking of wings, everybody gets wings. Free wings from Wingstop.
Redeemed. Look at Giannis. He's scanning it.
He's capturing the moment.
He's getting the.
He wants to get the QR code to get his free wings.
I hate to have to drill down on this, but it feels like it's a very specific type of chicken preparation that he loves, whether it be like wings or fried chicken, because I've eaten a lot of Greek food in my life, and I don't remember coming across much fried chicken or chicken wings. So maybe it's like, you love what you couldn't have growing up type of situation.
It's a little bit of a forbidden fruit.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's a lot. I mean, Giannis has made no secret about he grew up rough, him and his family, right? So I would imagine that there's a lot of forbidden fruit. It's not just chicken, right? But again, he keeps coming back to all of these things, and this is all under the backdrop, that last clip there of him scanning the QR code for the free chicken that everyone in the arena gets because the opponent missed 2 free throws. That was kind of like the crux of my investigation, because so many teams do this. Usually it's a Chick-fil-A promo. I tracked down the guy who invented the promo. He works for the Washington Wizards and the Washington Capitals, right? We talked to numerous people behind the scenes, off camera, for some background stuff about this promotion and who have been the champions of it. And it's always been guys on their own team, basically. So Marcin Gortat was a name that came up. Someone who was really big on getting the excitement going for the crowd. Guys, we got to get loud so that we can they can miss free throws and you guys can get the free chicken, right? Giannis, I'm kind of surmising through my investigation, is doing it for the opposing crowd. He's the opponent, and he's giving away. And I found this out, Izzy, because the metrics told me so. What kind of metrics? Take a listen.
You've created a helpful graphic here. Chicken eligible, parentheses CE. Any free throw where a miss on that individual shot would result in the activation of a chicken-based promo.
Yes, precisely. We have another term we need you to understand.
Why?
Because metrics, we have to build metrics off of this. It's not enough to say, hey, how many chicken eligible shots did he take?
Oh, sorry. You're moving us from counting stats now to
efficiency, which is the key to any good metric, is we want to know how efficient you are.
Of course. Of course, I must agree with this.
And here's the graphic. The chicken conversion rate, which is your chicken eligible misses divided by your chicken eligible attempts.
And so Giannis Antetokounmpo, when it comes to his conversion rate when he's chicken eligible, is what?
So his CCR over the last 2 years, 80%. 80% of the time, he's got an opportunity to get you chicken. He comes home with it.
8 out of 10 times, Giannis is converting free chicken for the crowd.
Yeah, he's shooting 20%. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
It's awful.
So how are we painting Giannis here as like the Robin Hood of like, because I mean, Robin Hood, what famously stole from the rich to give to the poor.
Yeah.
He is stealing from, I guess these chicken companies are rich and giving it to what, other rich basketball fans sitting in the front row?
Well, relatively speaking, they're poor compared to him, and
Yeah.
definitely poor compared to the chicken companies. So he is Robin Hood. That's exactly actually the terminology I use. He's the Robin Hood of giving away chicken at NBA games. And like we did the deep dive, like I said, man. Does it make sense to you, Izzy, that a guy who plays in one of the smallest markets gets more All-Star votes than LeBron James, Steph Curry, Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, like all of these huge name people? Giannis is the lead vote getter? You think that's just, because he's a really good player? Sure, he's a great player. But also, I think there's a part of it where opposing fans are like, you know what? I like this Giannis guy. Got me a free
And you know
sandwich.
how they know it's like, it's real. Like the 20% is a ridiculous number. Like he is missing on purpose. I've watched this dude beat everybody on his team in a free throw shooting contest in practice. It came down to him versus Grayson Allen. And the contest wasn't who makes the most. It's you shoot till you miss.
Right.
He was the last person to miss. And yet 80% of the time he's missing with chicken on the line.
So, and I'll give away one more nugget from you should watch the whole episode, right?
Nice nugget.
One more chicken nugget, right? That he typically in the fourth quarter, I know people think, he's an awful free throw shooter. Of course he misses. Typically in the fourth quarter of games, his free throw percentage goes up, right? He shoots around 64% over the last couple of years in the fourth quarter.
Not with chicken on
unless
the line.
chicken is on the line. And then it drops all the way down to 20%. And the difference there, and this is in the episode, but I'll give it to you one more time. The difference there is the difference between Steph Curry shooting a free throw and Shaquille O'Neal shooting a free throw.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
you can't tell me that's coincidence.
That's not. It can't be coincidence. Now, the thing that I'm wondering is if it's on the road.
Mhm.
Now, I know NBA teams sometimes are staying over night and not flying out that same night. But if he doesn't get to benefit at all, does he at least like want to know? Does he like check in with the fans? Hey, you guys enjoying that chicken over there? Because what's the point of doing good if you don't get to sort of bask in the glory of it?
That's the burden of being a philanthropic person. You can't check in on it. And say, hey, did you guys enjoy that thing I gave you? Like, it becomes heavy-handed. It's no longer philanthropic. Like, he just has to assume that the universe is going to take care of him. You know what? All-star votes say yes, they do take care of him.
That's true.
Break.
50 chicken minis, though. A lot of chicken.
Yeah, not 49, not 51.
Why not 51, though? Why not go ahead and just give me a couple extra if you love it so much? You know why?
When he scored 50 in the finals.
That's
why.
true. That's true. All that chicken.
And you know, when I eat chicken, I get super thirsty. That's when I use a whole bottle of Huel to heal me up. Shout out to Huel.
That's right. Huel. New customers visit Huel.com/oddball today and use code oddball to get 15% off your first order, plus a free gift. My favorite flavor, it's got to be the salted caramel one. I just got a bag. You might be able to see it over my left shoulder there, just sitting there. That was my new favorite. I love a good salted caramel, Amin.
I love the chocolate. I feel like I take one sip of the chocolate and I feel like I get a new haircut. I change clothes immediately. It's amazing how transformative it is. And Huel itself, the best thing about it is the black edition. It's a ready-to-drink beverage right there. You're holding one in your hand right there. As you see, I don't have to mix it up or anything. Just grab it and go. It's a great source of calcium, which contributes to the normal function of my digestive enzymes. It makes me feel good.
You know what else it has? It's got B12 in it. And that's the energy I need that coffee sometimes doesn't quite provide. So I take this, or I've got the powder. I got my shaker in the back. I can do that as well. Plus, it's super affordable. Like, I went to a fast food joint the other day to buy some food for my nieces and nephews. That was through the roof. This is affordable and healthy.
Affordable. Everyone's thinking, affordable. What is affordable? Affordable might be different for Izzy. Moneybags over here. Guess what? Under $5 for a high protein meal. I always choose Huel when I'm in a rush. It's stupidly convenient. No prep, no hassle. Just grab that bottle and go. That way I'm saving time and money.
One time I went to a fast food drive-thru recently and ended up getting into an argument with the person that worked there. I can avoid that altogether with a quick meal replacement right here from Huel. It's completely gives you everything you need from energy to nutrition. I love it.
Black Edition Ready to Drink is a meal in a bottle. One bottle contains 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, and is low in sugar. Huel's a perfectly balanced meal designed by nutrition experts and takes the guesswork out of healthy eating.
New customers visit Huel.com/oddball today and use code oddball to get 15% off your first order plus a free gift.
Huel and Oddball.